You want some actual perspective on this? Well, a bit of it comes from the Kansas City-based writer Jason Whitlock. Our current gun culture, Whitlock wrote, ensures that more and more domestic disputes will end in the ultimate tragedy. Handguns do not enhance our safety. They exacerbate our flaws, tempt us to escalate arguments, and bait us into embracing confrontation rather than avoiding it. If Javon Belcher didn't possess a gun, he and Cassandra Perkins would both be alive today.
Before we get to Steve Crowder, now I haven't followed this story that closely. I'm not a football fan, and I'm not really that committed to, obsessed with gun control or gun liberalization. I've never owned a gun. I don't really want to. That's not actually the point, is it? Seems to me that was extraordinarily bad and irresponsible journalism. He's reading out the work of someone else. It's based on so many false premises, for goodness sake. Domestic violence is a problem, not as great a problem as some people pretend. I think that's been a feminist campaign. Many of the victims are men, by the way. And if guns were less available, would it mean that less people were killed? There's no evidence to dictate that at all, actually. And we've gone over this before. If you look at societies that have strict gun control compared to those who have no gun control, look at farming communities where there are lots of guns. Are people regularly killed? Anyway, let's get on to see what a real expert or someone who plays one on TV thinks about it. Steve Crowder, welcome to you, Steve.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. First off, I just want to clarify something before we start anything. Let's preface this with Bob Costas as an idiot. There are plenty of leftists out there whom I respect, who are very smart, who happen to be wrong with their ideas. Bob Costas is not one of them.
Well, is he a leftist? I mean, I don't follow North American sports. I've seen his face around, of course, for many years, but I assumed he was just another sporting talking head type. I didn't know he had politics.
Well, unless someone is very quiet about their views, in which case I tend to suspect them of being a conservative, because in the media or entertainment industry, being slightly to the right can only hurt your career, whereas being radically to the left can only help. Of course, I assume that Bob Costas was a leftist, and we see that with this. I think Bob Costas should try and stay out of the realm of politics and stay within his realm of being a male cheerleader, which is where he's strongest, putting other men's names on his back, maybe being pinned with their high school ring. I don't know. I know he's a fan of other athletes and not one himself.
Are you implying something there?
I'm implying that, listen, those who can't do teach, and those who can't teach commentate, which I know I see here because I'm commentating on this show. But listen, when it comes to the realm of sports, a lot of people don't have a ton of respect for Bob Costas. When it comes to the realm of politics or cultural commentary, people have zero respect for Bob Costas. What's so funny here is leftists like Bob Costas, who I don't know if I mentioned, by the way, is an idiot, want to blame an inanimate object. They're going to place the blame on the gun. Whereas at the same time, if someone like me asks the questions that can actually be great indicators of one who might end up making poor decisions, such as what's the father figure like in the household? How did this gentleman treat his girlfriend? Was he married to the mother of his children? These are indicators of one's character. Now, if someone asks, I'm not saying that anyone who doesn't fit the right answers for those questions is going to go on some kind of a killing spree, but these are questions that should be asked day in and day out. Leftists fear that because making judgments is the ultimate evil among leftists. So instead, they decide to place the blame squarely on a dead piece of steel.
He took his own life as well, this athlete. So we have here a multi-millionaire young man in wonderful shape with his whole life ahead of him who kills himself. That is the ultimately irrational act for someone to do in such a position. As G.K. Chesterton said, when you kill yourself, you don't kill one man. As far as you're concerned, you wipe out the entire world. Now, we could make a comment, and I think a sports commentator will be qualified to do this, about the alleged drug use amongst athletes. Some of these drugs that are meant to help kids who have attention disorder, deficit disorder, that could bring on some irrational behavior. But I don't think it has anything to do with actual gun control. This is a deeply troubled man who should have been helped a lot earlier.
This is a man who killed the wife of his child and then killed the father of his child. This is a man who committed, as sad as it was, two heinous immoral acts. These were immoral things to do. Just like when Heath Ledger died, everyone talked about what a brilliant actor he was. Let's be honest. Heath Ledger left fatherless children. It's a very cowardly act. It's a very immoral act. So I don't want to judge the gun. I think we should be judging the decisions. And of course, judging the person who made those decisions. If people think that's wrong, if that's politically incorrect, then I'm okay with that. But
Steve,
I think
okay,
that's
Steve, let me challenge you. Hold on a second. Look. This was pertinent because it was a football player who had committed suicide and killed another person in front of a coach. It was a major issue. he had to make some sort of comment. He could have done the normal sporting banality of we're all praying for and we all believe in and we're really sorry. And everyone wears a black armband and pretends they actually care. But he made it a bit more sexy, if you like. If he had said, for example, this has nothing to do with gun control, would you be applauding him?
Well, first, I'm going to disagree with you. I think he should have said our thoughts and prayers go out to the family.
Even if you don't pray, right?
Beg your pardon?
Even those people who've never prayed in their lives. I detest the way they say, my prayers are with you, when you know they couldn't even spell the word.
Right. Well, listen, I'm saying what I would have said. Bob Costas may be a total heathen for all I know. I don't know. I don't know his personal religious views. But I think that would have been much more appropriate, respecting the privacy and doing your job. His job was not to provide anti-gun leftist commentary. And to go to something you mentioned earlier as far as rural states, you know, the state with arguably the most lenient gun laws in the country is also the furthest to the left. It's Vermont. Gun crime in Vermont is incredibly low. So here's the thing. You have a man pushing a political opinion, which is not his job. He's not good at it. And he also happens to be wrong. Again, I do want to clarify because I'm not sure people heard before Bob Costas is an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know if I did get through. It was rather blurred. He does seem to be an idiot. Most people who comment on sports in North America are idiots. Sorry, but that has been my experience. I don't really care. It's not my role. They can do what they want to do. But he's dared to say... But Steve, this issue of gun control... a lot of Canadians play the American game, but I just can't... It's like all the tweets I'm getting from these loony potheads. You know, they honestly think their ability to get high is the most important issue in the world. I'm far more concerned about whether a kid in Africa will have a full belly tonight or die in his sleep. Gun control is an issue, but why is it Americans are so committed, one side or the other, to this issue?
Well, because it's, you know, essentially, let me tell you, one time I was asked by somebody, why do Americans, same kind of thing, think that this is as important as freedom of religion or freedom of speech?
Very quick.
Let me clarify as simply as possible. It's because it's literally written up there in the Constitution with freedom of religion and freedom of speech. It's
Steve, gotta go. Always a huge pleasure having you with me, and we'll see you next week. I hope your knee gets better. You take care, my friend.
Thank you. God bless.